I never imagined that love could come with a credit limit. The hospital hallway smelled like antiseptic and fear. That quiet, humming fear that settles into your bones when you've been sitting too long, praying too hard, and hearing too many machines beep around the people you love. My son Daniel lay unconscious behind a glass door. Tubes everywhere, machines breathing for him. My once strong boy, who used to lift me off the ground when he hugged me, now looked fragile, almost unrecognizable. The accident came out of nowhere. A late-night drive home from work. A truck ran a red light. That's all the police said. Multiple surgeries, the doctor explained gently. He'll survive, but the bills will be substantial. Substantial. Such a small word for such a terrifying meaning. Daniel's wife, Melissa, stood beside me. Perfect posture, perfect hair. Even in the hospital, she looked like she belonged on a magazine cover. She held her phone tightly, scrolling endlessly, while nodding at everything the doctor said. We'll figure it out, she said quickly without looking at me. But I knew. They didn't have savings. Daniel had just changed jobs. Insurance was limited. And so 2 days later, I did something I swore I'd never do at my age. I opened a new credit card. The bank clerk hesitated when she saw my birth year. Are you sure, ma'am? The interest? I'm sure, I said. It's for my son. I charged everything to that card. The surgeries, the ICU stay, the medications insurance wouldn't cover. Every swipe felt like another year added to my working life. But I didn't care. I'd clean houses. I'd sell my jewelry. I'd do anything. Because that's what mothers do. Melissa visited Daniel daily, always well-dressed, always polite. She thanked me often. You're a lifesaver, she told me once, squeezing my hand. We'll pay you back. I promise. I wanted to believe her. Weeks passed. Daniel slowly regained consciousness. He smiled weakly when he saw me. He cried when he learned what I'd done. Mom, I'll pay you back, he whispered. I swear, I believed him. Then one afternoon everything changed. I was sitting alone in the hospital cafeteria, sipping burnt coffee when my phone buzzed. A message notification. Not from Daniel. Not from Melissa. From a number I didn't recognize. Image received. I frowned and tapped it open. And my heart stopped. The photo was clear. Too clear. Melissa, wearing a tight red dress, laughing. Her arm wrapped around a man I had never seen before. His hand rested boldly on her waist. But that wasn't the worst part. Behind them, perfectly visible, was a glowing sign. Azure Bay Resort, Maldives. My hand started shaking. The Maldives. One of the most expensive vacation destinations in the world. I zoomed in. My chest tightened. There was no mistake, same face. Same bracelet she wore every day. Same wedding ring. Barely visible as she held a champagne glass. My credit card statement flashed in my mind. 48,000 and climbing. I checked the timestamp. The photo was taken 3 days ago. 3 days ago, when Melissa told me she couldn't come to the hospital because she was overwhelmed and needed space. I felt dizzy. Another message appeared. Unknown number. She's been lying to you. I thought you should know. I typed back with trembling fingers. Me. Who are you? The reply came after a pause. Unknown number. I'm his wife. My breath caught. The man in the photo was married. She sent another image. Screenshots, messages, hotel bookings, dates. The truth unfolded cruelly, piece by piece. Melissa wasn't just cheating. She had been living a double life. While I was drowning in debt. While my son lay helpless in a hospital bed. She was vacationing overseas, funded by money she had secretly transferred from Daniel's accounts months before the accident. Money meant for emergencies. Money meant for bills. Money that should have helped us instead of forcing me into debt. I felt betrayed, but worse, used. That night I visited Daniel alone. He noticed my silence immediately. Mom, what's wrong? I showed him the photo. He stared at it for a long time, too long. Then his face crumpled. She said she was visiting her sister, he whispered. Tears rolled down his cheeks and I realized something painful. He had trusted her completely. I didn't tell you this, he said slowly, but she wanted me to sign some documents before the accident. Said it was for investment reasons. I didn't read them carefully. My stomach dropped. Legal documents? Power of attorney. My heart hardened. Not with anger, but with clarity. This ends now, I said quietly. Daniel looked at me, confused. I opened that credit card to save your life, I continued. I won't let her destroy it. The next morning, I made calls. To a lawyer. To the bank. To the hospital billing office. And then, I waited, because the most shocking part of this story, Melissa had no idea what was coming. Melissa returned 2 weeks later. Tanned, relaxed, smiling. She walked into the hospital room like nothing had happened, kissed Daniel's forehead and greeted me warmly. Thank you again for everything, Mom, she said sweetly. I smiled back. A calm smile. The kind that hides a storm. The lawyer arrived shortly after. Melissa's smile faded the moment she saw him. What's this? She asked nervously. I stood up slowly. This, I said, is accountability. The lawyer laid everything out. The unauthorized transfers, the misuse of marital funds, the forged signatures, the credit card debt, now legally documented as medical necessity, not personal spending. Melissa's face turned pale. You can't do this, she whispered. I'm his wife. And I'm his mother, I replied. The one who paid when you disappeared. Daniel spoke then, his voice weak but firm. I trusted you, he said. You broke that trust. Within weeks, the truth unraveled completely. Melissa's affair partner's wife filed a lawsuit. Daniel filed for divorce. The court froze Melissa's accounts. The hospital agreed to restructure the bills, transferring responsibility where it belonged. My credit card debt, reduced, managed, no longer a life sentence. Melissa packed her things and left quietly. No dramatic goodbye, no apology, just silence. Months later, Daniel came home. We sat together on the porch one evening watching the sunset. I don't know how I missed all the signs, he said. I squeezed his hand. Love makes us blind, I replied. But truth always finds a way. I paid off the last of the card a year later. Not because it was easy, but because I never regretted saving my son. And as for the photo that shocked me, it didn't destroy our family. It revealed who truly belonged in it.